The Earth's atmosphere is the whole mass of air surrounding the Earth, separating it from space. It protects Earth from radiations and cosmic rays that comes from outer space. Life wouldn't have been possible without atmosphere. Earth's atmosphere has 5 major and several secondary layers. From lowest to highest, the major layers are Troposphere, Stratosphere, Mesosphere, Thermosphere, and Exosphere. Let's zoom into Troposphere. Closest to the surface of Earth, ranging from 0 to 14 kilometers in altitude, troposphere is the layer we call home. Its thickness varies from up to 8 kilometers at poles and 14 kilometers at equator. Tropos means change. This layer gets its name from the weather that is constantly changing and mixing up the gases in this part of our atmosphere. The major components are nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. As the density of the gases in this layer decrease with height, the air becomes thinner. Therefore, the temperature in the troposphere also decreases with height. The temperature drops from an average around 17 degrees Celsius at bottom to minus 51 degrees Celsius at the tropopause. When you feel the wind on your face, see clouds in the sky, and watch a bird flap its wings in flight, you're experiencing the troposphere. It's a pretty nice layer to call home. Let's move on to stratosphere. Above the troposphere and below the mesosphere, we have the stratosphere. Strat means layer. It is composed of stratified temperature layers. Starting at an altitude of 14 and reaching up to 50 kilometers, stratospheres is about 35 kilometers thick. The major components are ozone, nitrous oxide, methane, chlorofluorocarbons, sulfide compounds, and hydrogen chloride. There are no storms or turbulence here to mix up the air. Therefore, cold heavy air is at the bottom and warm light air is at the top. The increase of temperature with altitude is a result of the absorption of the sun's ultraviolet radiation by the ozone layer. That means temperature increases with height and is ranging from minus 51 degrees Celsius at the bottom to minus 15 degrees Celsius at the top of stratosphere. The stratosphere is where you'll find the very important ozone layer. The ozone layer helps protect us from ultraviolet radiation from the sun. In fact, the ozone layer absorbs most of the UV radiation the sun sends to us. Life as we know wouldn't be possible without this layer of protection. We can see weather balloons and polar stratospheric clouds, also known as nacreous clouds, in stratosphere. Now let's move on to mesosphere. The mesosphere lies between thermosphere and the stratosphere. Starting at an altitude of 50 and reaching up to 85 kilometers, mesosphere is about 35 kilometers thick. Meso means middle, and this is the highest layer of the atmosphere, in which the gases are all mixed up rather than being layered by their mass. The major components are thinner gases from the troposphere, iron and other metal ions. The temperature decreases when the height increases. It decreases from minus 15 degrees Celsius at the bottom to minus 120 degrees Celsius at the top. Have you ever seen a meteor shower where meteors burn up and streak across the sky? Some people call them shooting stars. Those meteors are burning up in the mesosphere. The meteors make it through the exosphere and thermosphere without much trouble because those layers don't have much air. But when they hit the mesosphere, there are enough gases to cause friction and create heat. Let's move on to thermosphere. The thermosphere lies between the exosphere and the mesosphere. Starting at an altitude of 85 and reaching up to 600 kilometers, thermosphere is about 515 kilometers thick. Therma means heat, and the temperature in this layer can reach up to 2,500 degrees Celsius. The temperature increases when the height increases. It increases from minus 120 degrees Celsius at the bottom to 2,500 degrees Celsius at the top. The major components are atomic oxygen, atomic nitrogen, and helium. The thermosphere is home to the International Space Station as it orbits Earth. This is also where you'll find low Earth orbit satellites. Let's move on to exosphere. Exo means outside and is the outermost layer of our atmosphere. This layer separates the rest of the atmosphere from outer space. Starting at an altitude of 600 and reaching up to 10,600 kilometers, stratospheres is about 10,000 kilometers thick. Because the exosphere gradually fades into outer space, there is no clear upper boundary of this layer. The major components are hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide. The temperature can reach up to 1,500 degrees Celsius. And here we have a table of information regarding altitude, thickness, composition, and temperature in layers of atmosphere.
Please like and subscribe to our channel.
Thanks for watching.